Another thing that I thought of doing with these stars would be stockpiling gallery cases once those get removed, which may also work. But we're dealing with two possibilities there. Good afternoon, CS community. My name is Sin. Today is September 13th. But by the time you're watching this, it is probably September 14th. And as it turns out, last week I made the right decision, but I actually didn't even act on it. And it ended up biting me in the ass. But hopefully this week is going to go a little bit differently because we got some good picks for this week, and hopefully we're going to get some new content coming pretty soon. And whenever there's new content, there's always new money to be made. So this time we're going to start off strong, and let's get into our second week's CS investments. This week I'm going to say my picks are a little bit risky, but I'm thinking it's eventually going to pay off no matter what, but I'm basically going to be trying to predict a future CS update. Hopefully it's this really close update, but I'm not too positive about that. Everything like the gallery case, graphic collection, and the character craft stickers are gonna get removed, so these have already jumped in price. And because of these skins getting removed, I decided to use a few of my armory stars that I got from last week, and I spent them on the graphic collection. And thank God I did that, because I ended up getting the AK-47 Crossfade and Factory New on my fourth and final unbox.
Wait, W.
I'll show the other skins that I got now, and I'm going to add them into my spreadsheet, but these don't really matter that much as I got 3 light blues, 2 of them in minimal wear, and 1 of them in battle scarred. So we're going to remove 12 stars from our Armory Pass total, and we're going to add that Crossfade and Factory New right onto our spreadsheet for only 43 cents, as that's how much it cost in stars compared to the price of the Armory Pass. But let's get into the actual investments of the week. As I said before, I'm going to be trying to predict a future CS update here, and that Inferno 2018 collection is looking pretty old. Inferno's still in the drop pool, people are loving it in gameplay, and I think this collection is in dire need of an update. They just did the Train collection and the Overpass collection, and I feel like the Inferno collection is going to be coming soon, so I know that these skins are probably going to be removed from the pool. And because of that, I decided to pick up some investments in preparation for that. First up, I picked up a Factory New Dual Berettas Twin Turbo for $15 flat. Next, I got 3 MP7 Fades, 1 in Factory New and 2 in minimal wear, totaling $18.02 for all of them. And I thought I'd let you guys know that most of these are actually above a 90% fade, so we like to see that. After that, I did make a little bit of a mistake, and I purchased an Austin 2025 Inferno package for $2.41. And I was thinking this was one of the highlight packages, which it was not, so that was a rookie mistake on me. But I ended up still getting 2 Inferno highlight packages from Vitality vs Mongols. Then I got 3 Mirage highlight packages, 1 Phase vs Vitality and 2 Vitality vs Mongols. Then I also got 2 Dust 2 highlight packages, Spirit vs Maus, and all of them were for $3.24 each from Steam, and that totaled $22.68. I did also decide to scoop up one more Armory Pass before this next update, although I don't think I'll be able to collect all these stars before I can redeem them in the next update, but it's always good to have some Armory stars on hand. Then finally for this week, I decided to pick up a semi-precious charm for $29.20, which is a lot more than I thought these things were going to be, but I love this charm and it's so versatile with so many different gun skins, it's gonna go up in price once these are removed. I also had an idea that I think the next charm collection might be based on more of the Jellybean character models and not the weapon charms. So I feel like the weapon charms might have a better return on investment than the character charms, but this is simply speculation, of course. So at the end of week 2, we're left with 41 cents to be added into the next week's balance. And now that leaves us to the stock picks. Like most weeks, we're going to only really have one pick for the week, and that's going to be the MADE ticker. This is a US manufacturing ETF, which is basically a fund of a bunch of US manufacturing stocks, bonds, and other stuff like that, and the shares I'm buying is basically stock in that fund. So I purchased each of these shares for $28.62 for a total of $114.48. This was because I was using money from last week that I ended up not spending on the stock market, and so at the end of week 2, we're left with $4.15 to be traveled over into the next week. So let's actually see how these stocks did. And at the end of week 2, TXT ended down at $81.23, leaving us with a loss of 14 cents total. Our new stock MADE actually did well, and it ended up at $28.78, leaving us with a total profit of 64 cents for all 4 of those shares. So we are actually up still 50 cents from our original stock picks, while our CS investments are actually also doing quite well too. So I'm not going to really go into each skin's price every week, but I can tell you with certainty that our graphic collection redemptions did pretty well for us. I do want to say though that this profit was more closer to gambling than an investment, but we ended up doing well, so I can't complain about it. So that's going to be it for week 2's investments, and I hope I see every single one of you back here next week for week 3. It's been Sin. Peace.